I'm breaking down 4 income streams you can use to start earning money off of your crochet. These are not get rich quick ideas, but they will help you create scalable and sustainable income. Income stream number 1, you know her, you love her. This is selling your physical products. Now, when you sell physical products, especially with crochet, you have 2 different business models essentially that you want to choose from. You have the drop model, which is where you're only making an item once or in extremely limited quantities, and then opening your store once a month or once every 3 months, once a season, and basically making all of your sales within that enclosed time. The stable model is where you consistently have a handful of products available for purchase on your store. So essentially, what you're deciding in between here is if you should make your products before you sell them or after you sell them. Some examples of people that have successfully done this for the drop model is Knotted Neon, Black Onyx, and for the stable model, Passionate Goods. Let's talk pros and cons here. For the drop model, you have a lot more of creative freedom because you can essentially just make whatever your heart desires and list that to your shop. We do also see higher pricing generally for these items, and it's easier to create a hype around them because they are exclusive. But you are constantly having to come up with new ideas, making things more interesting, more creative, more satisfying for your buyers, and that can lead to some burnout. With the stable model, I put here muscle memory. Really, what I mean here is that because you're making the same items over and over and over again, hopefully you would be able to streamline production. And you also don't have to come up with as many ideas. If you have 4 to 5, maybe 6 max of like really solid products, you're not having to constantly come up with new ideas. However, you are in a sense stuck in a box and you really don't want to, as I mentioned, offer like 20 or 30 different products to make. You want to keep it simple and small. Now, choosing in between these models really depends on what you want, your personal preferences, and if you need more help deciding which of these would work best for you, book a completely free strategy call with me down below. All right, income stream number 2. I call this digital patterns plus, really just digital products. And the options that you have here are patterns, which is where, you're basically creating and selling the digital instructions to making a crochet piece. Something that I don't see as many people talking about though is creating guides and resources. So these can be, like I listed here, cheat sheets, hacks, charts, project ideas, basically anything that your little heart can think of. Let's talk pros and cons. Patterns generally have a higher demand, but that also means that there is heavy competition in this area, especially on if you're looking at popular selling platforms, Etsy, a lot of people sell patterns. With guides and resources, there is a broader appeal, I would say, since not all crocheters use patterns, but they do take a little bit more effort and probably a higher skill level to create, since you're probably marketing these to beginner crocheters. And by the way, I'm going to be doing a full pro and con between each of these streams at the very end, so stick around for that. Stream number 3. This is setting up a free blog. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, how can I make money off of a free blog? Well, there's 2 steps to it. So the first is that obviously you're going to make your blog posts. The second step is that you are going to monetize those blog posts. So when you're posting, these can be like free patterns. You can talk about tips and tricks, different stitches, inspiration for projects, color combos, anything that you can think of. And then to monetize it, you're basically going to run ads on your site using something like Google Ads. So Google will basically pay you to run ads on your website. And this is basically like, you know, when you look up a cooking recipe and you're trying to get to the recipe and there's like a million ads popping up and it's kind of frustrating. That's essentially what you would do with the ads. A great example of someone that has had a lot of success with this is Hey Crochet. And now, income stream number 4. This is personally my favorite, but it is YouTube monetization. And within monetizing on YouTube, I would say that there are 3 main ways that you can actually make money off of your channel. The first of which is being AdSense, which is where YouTube will basically pay you per view. Depending on how well your video does, YouTube will pay you directly. With affiliate marketing, this is where you are getting a percentage of another company's sales, which you drive. And then you also have sponsorships, which is where a company pays you for promoting your product, usually with like an in-video ad. So that's where people would be like, this video is sponsored by yada yada. This video is not sponsored. Okay, really quick, some pros and cons. AdSense, I mean, it's simple. You get paid for making videos if they do well, but it can be inconsistent and it takes a long time to get monetized on YouTube for most people. With affiliate marketing, there's no, subscriber barrier, no follower barrier. You don't have to have any amount of views on your videos. It's really easy to sign up for these, but it is completely commission based. So if you aren't reaching a huge audience and people aren't buying the products that you're linking, you're not going to make any money off of it. Finally, with the sponsorships, you do have a guaranteed income, but there is a lot of upfront work with this. You probably would have to reach out to the company and get them to agree basically to pay you to create the video. I do want to myth bust really quickly here, especially with sponsorships. You do not have to be a huge channel in order to get YouTube sponsorships. As long as your viewership aligns with the viewership of the brand you're working with, you can get sponsorships. Now, the biggest thing about YouTube, and this is why, I don't know, this whole video is kind of a trick question, but YouTube turns your viewers into loyal fans and paying customers. YouTube works in synergy with any of these other income streams. And it's especially powerful because it's a way to market not just your products and the outcome of your work, but you as an individual and your brand and your business. So let's look at all of the pros and cons for everything. Number 1, the physical products. It's pretty easy to start, and it's usually where most people start, but it is very time intensive. And I've done a lot of research on this because I don't sell physical products personally, but it sounds like, and it looks like, a lot of people are shifting away from the physical product space because it's just not a sustainable way to make an income. And you also have to do your own marketing. You have to bring your own people into your store, even on Etsy. You have to drive your own traffic. With digital products, you have great profit margins. So you're not paying for materials or upfront costs. And it is what people call passive income. So you do the work up front, you create a product, and then it can, basically sell for years and years to come. But again, you have to do your own marketing and you have to bring your own people to your store. With a free blog, you're not actually selling a product, which I know a lot of people, especially beginners, can feel uncomfortable with selling their own patterns or even selling their physical products. So I think starting a free blog where you're posting advice and maybe even some free patterns is a great way to get started if you feel some of that anxiety around selling your items as a beginner. And this is also, again, passive income. You're doing the work up front, you're creating these blog posts, and, they can be on the website and earn revenue from the ads on them for years and years to come. But again, you have to somehow drive traffic to these blogs. And as I mentioned, kind of the answer for all of these cons is having a YouTube, which drives traffic to your physical products or your digital products or your free blog. And it also helps you build your brand. So people are getting to know you, they're getting to know um, what things you like, what you don't like. They're connecting with you as a person, and as a result, they're more likely to buy your products. The con here is that YouTube is time and skill intensive, and creating a whole YouTube from scratch can be pretty intimidating. If you are serious about your crochet business in 2025, I would love to work with you. Book a link down below for a completely free strategy session, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.